Jamie Marsh live tonight, right here on the Sauce Spot. Man, I'm super excited for this one. Super excited. Let's go. I just talked to Jamie Marsh literally 2 minutes ago. Tested out the connection, make sure that we're ready to rock. Everything seemed good, so here he is. 200 people in here already. That's awesome, guys. Thank you for supporting the Sauce Spot. Coming to check out Jamie Marsh. He should be good.
Perfect.
Oh, the audio
Little choppy, but
like maybe I'm too close.
nah. Got full fairly cool.
Got it. Sounds like I'm hooked up.
Yeah, I don't know. It just did a while ago. Turn my Wi-Fi off.
Give us 1 second. The audio was just good, but we're getting some reverb.
How's that?
There we go. That's perfect.
All right, cool.
How's everyone else? Throw up some comments for us, guys. Let us know if the echo went away on your end. Sounds good for me. Sounds good for Jamie. I think we're good. Look at that. 500 people in here. Top live already. You're a pretty popular guy.
Nah, not me.
Well, it sounded perfect. Man, I'm excited. Yeah, good to go. I'm seeing a lot of good to go, a lot of thumbs up. Let's send it, right? Man, as everybody knows, we're live with Jamie Marsh tonight. Needs really no introduction this last week. He's been all around the world, from the moon to world record holder to you name it. I mean, I've seen memes popping out of the woodworks with this guy's face on it all week.
It's been a crazy week. That last one that you just posted on the story, that should have me dying for like what?
That's a guy from the Ramey race team, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know where that original clip comes from, but Instagram gonna be lit tonight.
Yeah.
What are you drinking over there? What do you got?
It's called J Blue, Johnny Walker Blue.
J Blue. Everything J with you, huh?
Okay.
All right, let's get into some of these questions. I see a lot of people commenting. Guys, if you're commenting with questions, save them for the end. We have a full list of questions from people that submitted questions during the week on some of the posts, and questions that I came up with, just mainly the same questions we ask everyone on these interviews to get started. As the years go on and people keep winning and come on multiple times, I'm sure the questions will get rowdier. But to start off, how did you get on here, Jamie? What made you get on this live feed with us tonight?
Yes, this live was prompted from the IFO Atco event last Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a pretty intense event. It was probably one of my favorite IFO events, mainly because of the cars that are involved. It was my first event outside of Honda Day where the DSS car was actually, competing.
Yes, it's true.
It was one of those highly anticipated, sauce type events where anything flies. So
no rules, no gas checks, no worries about his tech, making sure everyone's good. It was all out, even field for everyone, same conditions.
No crying, no fuel check discrepancies, none of the above. So
that was my favorite part of that event for sure, was that after it, there was no drama. No one could argue a thing, It's pretty impressive. All right, so where'd you get your start racing? What makes you drag race? Let's start way back to, what year was it?
Probably 2004, 2005, probably right around when I got my license. Back then I had a 93 Sentra SER Nissan. Good old SR20. It was black. Car started off NA. It was nothing special. Eventually put a turbo on it. Tried to kind of keep up with the Honda guys locally.
Yeah. So you were against the Honda guys in the beginning? That was like your objective?
Highly against the Honda guys in the beginning, man. They were everywhere. It was kind of the lone wolf.
Yeah.
But things started to change.
Was there a lot of Nissan competition back in 2004, 2005?
No, none at all. No.
I mean, even up till now, I feel like the only all motor class Nissan guy I know is he's local to me. It's probably why I only know him. JMR
Oh, yeah.
Junior.
Junior and I have some history, man.
Do you?
We have some.
I never knew this.
It was the Nissan battle back then. It was cool. It was this whole JMR thing. Jamie Marsh Racing at the time. Junior Mahavir.
Oh wow! I never. Junior Mahavir Racing, Jamie Marsh. Wow.
It was the whole thing that we kept going back and forth, and guys started coming up with this thing like the real JMRs and CT.
Wow. I never followed the Nissan stuff as much to know that history. I knew you were a Nissan guy. I knew he was. I probably should have put it together.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It was.
I feel like I was scrolling real deep on your Instagram one day, and I saw that sweatshirt someone had made.
Oh yeah.
Or a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's what started it. That's what started it. But no, he's a good guy, great guy. I'm glad to see continue to push that platform forward. He's definitely been doing it for quite a while.
So it was Nissan. So you had an SCR. Would you drag race? You drag race the SCR?
Yeah, it was all street racing, man. We used to hop on. We used to, go race down at Route 8, local highway stripped down by us.
Yeah.
Against a lot of the 13203 guys. Nick, the guy who passed away, that they do the track runs before every year.
I remember Nick a lot. He resonates in my head for some reason, just because during the Honda Tech days and stuff like that, I don't want to say interact with him a lot, but be in a lot of the same threads, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He stood out a lot. I don't know.
The kid was a beast, man. He was definitely the guy who pushed the K forward in Connecticut anyway, and I think in general. I remember.
Yeah.
Talking.
I remember him, and I'm from down here on Long Island, and I remember him. I remember the things he stood for very well. He was very, I don't want to say hard-headed, but he knew his shit.
No, he definitely knew his shit. Definitely knew his shit. So
it's crazy to think where guys like that would be at this point.
Insane. It's insane to even think about. It's that kid was ahead of his time back then.
Yeah.
He was making 300 plus horsepower NA and a K back when it was unheard of to even make 250 with what what we know now.
My bucket list is to make it to one of those 13203 events. I love the fact that his friends keep his legacy going for so long. That had to have been at least 5-7 years ago.
About that, I think it's 2009. I think 2010.
Almost 10 years, yeah. So right around my friend Chris, the reason I do everything that I do and I'm so passionate about racing is my friend Chris that passed away. It's the same way, and I love to see other people motivated off death, as morbid as that sounds, and not ruined because someone was no longer here. Very cool that you guys all have that unity in there in CT.
Yeah, it's a strong. Connecticut is definitely a big united force at this point. Back then, you had some smaller rivalries that kind of went on, but now it's everyone's kind of moving in the same direction, and it's.
You guys are working well together between you and Joe and Sonic and everyone up there. You're recruiting people from New York and New Jersey to CT now, and they're. I see guys that are New York proud, and now they're CT got heat, and I'm like. Look, I'm not against the CT got heat movement. I'm a New Yorker, though, right? So
I think people see the way we move. We kind of move as there's no one, holding anyone back. Someone messaged me today, and they were like, respect the fact that you don't hold any of your guys back. If you can make your guys faster than yourself, then
no man left behind is the way I look at you guys. Is no matter what. I remember, what was it, World Cup? Last year, you guys all squeezed into the 4-piston pit. This year, you guys had another H-Day. Earlier this year, you guys had too many cars in the pits probably, but you were like, this is our team. We're going to make it work. It wasn't like someone's got to go elsewhere.
No. And out here, it doesn't matter what tuner, what car, what anything. Everyone kind of, comes together when it comes to the racing thing, and they make it happen. Even this weekend with Mahmoud's car,
Yeah.
In the semis, I think he lost a tranny, and he went and found a stock LS tranny from someone, and it was kind of all hands on deck to kind of get that thing back in there.
It's crazy how much a team can get done together, you know, compared to one person. It's one person drives the car, but all of you put your hands into it to build it. That's my favorite part of all this racing stuff. I actually get a little upset that I can't walk off the track more to go to the pits and film racing. I get yelled at for not covering index or bracket if I go celebrate in the pits after something now. So it's like, it's tough, but we have so many good media outlets in this industry at this point that someone's somewhere covering it all. I'm sure someone got Sonic covering pulling that tranny apart. 20 minutes.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's one thing I did learn too about you know, the game now. Back then you know, kind of had not trust issues, but I never really liked anyone putting their hands on my car or doing anything. I tried to do everything myself, and I started, you know, progressing and getting better when I started having faith in other people and realizing, understanding that, you know, you can't do everything yourself. You know, you got to have faith in the people around you to kind of handle certain things so you can focus on, you know, the core. You know,
Takes a while to figure out who's who, what their motives are, if they have any, you know. It's tricky. It's taken me a long time. There's definitely ups and downs too. People that you think are your good friends, all of a sudden they do something to, you're like, really?
Yeah.
So it takes time and it'll never end, right? That's life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So you've been racing 14 years. If you 2004, you started.
So 2004. So yeah, you figure out all the street stuff back then. I think I went to my first event like a IFO type event in maybe 2015, 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
You waited. So everything was streets.
Everything was really street. You know, we had a couple track rentals here and there, but no, you know, heads up style racing until I think 2015 or 2016. It was actually 2015 IFO. That was actually after I built the EK. That was like my first official event.
I feel like people were begging you to come to the track. Like when you first started, it was like, yo, you got to bring that car to the track. Like not begging you, but like, you know, come to an event. Because I remember, I don't want to say begging you, but when was it last year? Was it only last year, the beginning of last year that we first talked?
Yeah, I think it was the IRA.
That was 2017 though, right? It wasn't 2016.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's when I sponsored the 1050 class. That's right. So yeah, 2017, the IREV. Jamie hits me up, sends me a message. Like, I'm thinking about coming down with the all motor car. I was like, dude, I will do whatever you need me to do to help you. I was already at the event. This was Saturday night. The event was Sunday only. Yep. He didn't sleep. He was like, I'm getting off the dyno now. He sent me a video of the car shooting flames out, and I posted it. I said, Jamie's on his way. The next morning, I woke up, folded my bed sheets and shit outside. I see Jamie in the green car pulling in. One dude in a maroon pickup truck with an open trailer with this green car on it that's starting to get some notice in the industry. Yeah. And I think you had ran a 9.6 at the IFO event right before that.
Did it go 9.6?
Maybe 9.8. Maybe 9.8.
I can't remember. I think, what month was the IREV event?
June.
So actually it went 9.5. That was after the, that was definitely.
Was it June or was it the first?
No, actually no. The car went 9. The car went 10.0 before that because I think it had the 88 millimeter in there. I went testing one day at E-Town. The car went 10.0, and we took that motor out. I think we put the 99 in. Went to IREV. Car went 9.7. Then we took 99 out and put the 106 in, and that's when it went 9.50.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it was the 9.6. Maybe you ran 9.6s at Maryland that weekend.
Probably, yeah.
Because I remember there was a couple little issues. Plus, you had no team really. I did your tire pressure. I remember he dropped his glove on the ground. I walked over to pick it up. He's like, "Can you check my tire pressure?" Like, I got you.
That was a terrible drive, man. I regretted it for the first 2-3 hours, but it was well worth it.
No, I was super thankful for you to do it because I was sponsoring the 1050 class, and I was like, I needed all the cars. That was the biggest turnout 1050 IREV ever had. And I was super honored to like have guys like yourself come race in that. So
Yeah,
thank you. Now
there was a big fuse, 1050 class, and the kid's going, 9.7, and I kept
yeah,
listening to the videos of him saying like, "Oh nope, he breaks out again."
yeah. It was tough. That's a think about that, guys. I asked this guy to come to an event, what, 8 hours away from you? That was something.
6.5.
6.5 hours away the night before, and there wasn't even a class for him. Still came to the event, and I was super surprised. In the heat too. June is not a cool weather month where you take advantage of
No,
any.
no, it was a M5. It was a K20 9099. Strong motor. Car made some good power, and not bad for the first pass. Car went 9.7 like that off the trailer,
Oh,
and it was cool.
that was good. So wow, 2015 was your first event. Do you remember your first event win? Was it the first?
First event win was last year, May 2017, IFO New England NED. The car went 950. That was my first win ever. 2015, I went and raced at IFO. I remember it was Tim Gray, Mark P. The TAE car was there. Norris was there with Adrian's car. I mean, it was like a full field. It was like a 12 or 13 car IFO field.
At Atco, right?
At Atco.
Yeah.
So the night before, that's when we started dabbling with Saucey. I tried to turn that thing way the hell up, and I go out there and I was stuck with that 10-0 curse. I mean, I think the car went 10-0 probably 15 runs in a row.
You had a bellow motor, or?
No, yeah, I mean, probably related to that bastard.
That 10-10 curse, you probably put it on you. Anything to shake it.
And I remember thinking that I had it all figured out. I was going to go in there and fucking,
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me see if. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I just froze for like a split second because of the phone call. I had someone call me too. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Hold on. It's a little muffled. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Better now?
Perfect.
All right. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I was gonna send these guys home packing, and I remember, I think it was second round. Mark P comes off the trailer and goes like a 950 or some shit like that, and I turned around and looked at Adam. I'm like, yeah, we might as well just pack it up and go home now. It was an eye opener. I mean, after that whole event, I ended up going into the finals of Mark P. I lost the motor. There was like some fight or something that broke out, and we had to split the pot.
Oh, there was a fight at the event. I remember that.
Yeah, that event opened my eyes. I mean, I actually took a year off after that to kind of go back to the drawing board, and realized that the sauce wasn't the answer. There's a lot more to going fast than throwing fuel in the car and trying to put up a number.
Was that right when you started playing with fuel?
I've been playing with the fuel since the Nissan days. That car was probably the most powerful, probably I think at one time it was the fastest all-motor Sentra in the world for a while. And then I remember the guys from Puerto Rico came up and, they kept pushing forward. And I think they ended up going like 10 or something like that. At the time, got like a 1088 or something like that out of the car. And for its time, it was a fast car.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty quick for a small niche community like that. They don't, not much development.
Stock stroke. The car made like 330 horsepower, so
yeah,
it was cool. But yeah, that's right when we really started dabbling with it with the Honda stuff. And
so you really haven't been racing that long. So some people that may feel out of the loop, like, where did Jamie Marsh come from? He came from like the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of it was just street stuff. Going out in the street and trying to keep up. And I realized one day that maybe we should take it to the next level. And I did that. Tried that in 2015. Learned a whole lot. Got my ass kicked, which is what I needed.
It's always the best way to do it.
The best way to learn. Took the year off, and that's when the green car came about. I realized that I couldn't go back out in the same car and go slower, so I figured let's start with a fresh chassis. I was always a fan of the EG chassis. The EK was kind of a rush ordeal, so grabbed the EG and then just started from the ground up.
So you've had the EG for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. That's nuts. You got some guys that have been racing the same car for many, many years and rebuilt new cars and still haven't yet to reach the top level like you're now at within 2 years.
Yeah, a lot of it is, the guys around me, kind of the guys that kind of mentored me coming up in the game and, kind of giving me the advice and, do this, don't go here, don't go there. And, that definitely helped.
Yeah. Guidance is key in racing because there's a lot of traps, I'd say. There's a lot of good marketing, weak production. So
yeah, and one mistake in that, especially at this level, it can kill the motivation for someone and put them out completely.
Yeah, when you drop 10,000 on a motor and it's not what you expect, that's super discouraging. And I don't blame anyone who gets out for that. But sometimes you got to do your homework before you start making those big investments. Just because what you see on Instagram is one thing, it doesn't mean, I get asked all the time. I get questions like that all the time of who to go to. And I'm like, you got to feel that out for yourself, man.
Internet and real life are two different things, man.
Oh, yeah. Very, very different. I tell everyone, come to the events, racers, people that want to become racers, you got to show up at the events. You can't talk about racing on the internet and not race. I'm sure you've seen your business grow tremendously from not being at the track to now coming to the track far more.
Yeah, a decent amount, especially in the Honda community. It's always been kind of crazy, but the Nissan community was pretty small, so that pushed towards moving to the Honda stuff. It's a larger market and tons of opportunity.
A lot of deals are made in person.
Yeah.
Messages on Instagram don't have the same vibe.
Right.
So I was going to ask you what your personal best time was, but I mean, it's splattered all over everywhere from my videos to 4Piston doing marketing gimmicks with it to the time of our live feed tonight, 9:22.
I'm almost tired of seeing it. I mean, not tired of seeing it. I took a couple off of the internet because
we need a new number, Jamie. Come on. It's been a week. Can you give us a new number?
919.
That's the goal? The team?
Yeah, no, it happened. It'll happen.
Yeah. So you have one, I know you have one event win from this one. You have the one that you won in New England. Is there any other events that you've won? I mean, how many event wins do you have total?
All my event wins are all IFO. I probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IFOs.
6 IFOs. That's pretty good for 2 years, man.
It's not bad, but again, guys don't look at IFO the same. It's kind of
it all depends on the level of competition that comes out to that particular IFO.
Mm-hmm.
If you're racing 5 B series powered cars at an IFO, is the win as much of an accolade as beating some of the top guys in the class like you just named, Mark,
not at all.
Preunto, other JBR. I mean, I'm sure those are the guys you want to line up with more than anybody, just because that's it, top of the field. Yeah. I was upset that Julio red lit against you or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, we got to do that again. That's the race I was looking forward to, not because of any reason. It's just that car is like at the top of everything. Before even entering into the class, that was kind of the goal, maybe one day race against the best of the best. And
doing it next to your biggest rival too. Would you call yourself rivals?
No, not at all.
Because you still talk. I've seen you, and I mean, me and you had a 40-minute conversation at IFO in Norris's pit.
Yeah. So, no, I don't. I mean, I think it's such a sensitive.
It is.
Topic.
It is. I probably shouldn't even go there.
I don't think that we're rivals. I think we're competitors. We compete against each other in a class. This has been doing it, forever. You freezing up?
It froze for a second there.
But
I think we're good.
I don't see us as rivals at all.
Yeah. I think you two push each other. I mean, I talk to Norris a lot over 7 years of covering drag racing now, I've had no choice but to become friendly with Norris, right? He's at every
Yeah.
event almost. So
Yeah.
I talked to him after, and he said it was good. It was good motivation.
Yeah, he messaged me and said, thanks. It was definitely something that he needed. He said he's been slacking a little bit, and not slacking like in that term, but just kind of not putting the focus in the all motor stuff and putting all the focus in the drive stuff. And it was something that he needed.
I'll tell you. We're getting
Breaking up a little
choppy.
bit better.
Probably because we have 700 people in here right now. It's going nuts.
Probably.
It looks good. It looks good
now.
for me. I don't see anyone complaining about it.
All right.
So you've raced at Honda Day. You've raced at World Cup last year. Now I know you raced tons of IFOs. Which event do you have a favorite? Do you have one you like to compete at more than the other, or I know they're all different.
I would say World Cup is the favorite. World Cup is it's unreal. I mean, that event is probably the most nerve-wracking. It's you got the best of the best, both in the domestic and the import world. But definitely World Cup is the number one. I would say the IFOs, like our last IFO Atco, where we have, those types of events. That's probably number two.
Breaking up. You might have to click your Wi-Fi.
I'm good on this one.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Shoot. Yeah, it looks good. Every so often it just gets scrabbly. It's the hiccup in doing it this way.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll make it work. So you'd say World Cup is your favorite, even with the M1 rule?
The competitive IFOs are number two, and then H Day, I would say number three.
Yeah, and that's mainly due to the rules. The rules are different at each.
Yeah, it's a different style driving for each, different style tuning for each. They all have their pluses.
So considering that the IFOs are full sauce events and the other ones are the M1 events, you still choose an M1 event even.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it's not all about putting up a number. Putting up the number is fun and all for the personal goal, but going heads up against the best of the best, regardless of what fuel it is. It could be pump gas. I don't give a shit what it is. It's that's kind of what it's about. Not really more or less the time. A lot of those times are, tainted for various reasons. So the time to me means nothing. It's more or less the accolade of winning the actual event.
I like the sound of that. Even from a record holder, guys, wins matter. They last longer for sure. You'll never have someone take a win away from you.
No, not at all.
So how long have you been tuning? How long has it been? Is that from 2004, 2005 as well?
The tuning side is probably since 2008. Breaking up?
Yeah, it's breaking up a little. I don't know.
Good on this
I'm scared to touch anything and mess this up because there's...
Yeah. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear. It just keeps every like 5 minutes. It just cycles the circle thing.
Yeah.
So I think I was just asking you. You started Marsh tuning, right?
Somebody's calling again.
It actually, I think, made it better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your business, Marsh Tuning, right? That is that a full-time thing?
A lot of people think that's the full-time gig. That's the after 5 p.m. weekend type thing. It's actually it was not supposed to be. It was I just kind of did the tuning as something fun after work, and now I find myself every day, tuning a few cars a day.
Yeah, you tune a car every day.
Probably 2 to 3 every day. That's probably who's calling me now. I probably had someone scheduled today until we forgot to tell them to reschedule. But
they're probably wondering where you are. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is there a software that you prefer to tune on over others?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What'd you say?
Is there a software that you prefer over other? Do you tune all sorts of cars from, obviously you tune Nissans, Hondas?
Yeah, all the old chip-based stuff to the Motec stuff now. So
Trying to keep up with it. It's getting rough though. I don't
yeah.
know. Jamie's on the moon right now, guys.
I tried both. I got
Let me see.
full service on both.
Yeah, I got full service too. I mean, on my end, I look clear. On your end, you look clear. I think it's just the lost in translation shit going on here.
Probably. How many people are in here?
And keep making it work.
600 and something. But yeah, no real preference between ECUs. The Infinity is nice to have. The green car on the Infinity, it's really nice, very user friendly.
Green car on. I love all the
that,
AEM stuff. One for affordability, and seems everybody runs AEM at this point. I think my All Motor Top 10 list, every ECU is an AEM product, so it's very cool to see.
Pretty sure they're all AEM now.
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you have anything you can share with us on your regular job, day-to-day activities?
Well, the company. So I'm a senior engineer and VP of a chemical company here local down in New Haven.
Man, it's freezing bad. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it might just be me. Let me try turning on my my other phone here real quick, guys. And see if open this up.
You try for me.
Yeah, it's not gonna let me. It's not gonna let me watch my own live from my own live, but I'm gonna test it real quick from my other phone. Open it up on my. It's not gonna let me watch my own live from my own live, but it looks good on this thing. Real quick from my other phone on my. It's not gonna let me watch my own live from my own. It's delayed there. I don't know. I turned off the Wi-Fi on this phone. Maybe it'll get better. I think it's really just us two connecting. That's the issue. I don't think it's either of our Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to move through. Man, this is getting tough.
Do you want to try to push through, or do you want to go on the other phone?
Should we restart it?
Sure.
All right. Let's or you leave and then come back in. Try that first. Try to leave and then come back in real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm seeing a couple comments come up that are for you guys. Jamie is blurry. Jamie, if you're turn your Wi-Fi on before you start this one. Sorry, guys. If this doesn't work, we'll just restart another one. I know there's 600 plus people in here. We're at top live. We've been at the top since we started it. Shit. That's the worst. Jamie, throw up a comment and I'll invite you back in. There we go. All right, I'm adding Jamie again. Let's see. We were good for about the first 25 minutes, so we did test it before. We tried to make sure it was good. It looked great. There we go. Oh, this time I don't think we have audio this time.
Good?
There we go. We're good.
Yeah,
that's working nice. It's actually way clearer too.
Perfect.
Perfect. Sorry about that, Jamie. Nothing sucks more than fucking up the flow of a good conversation.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of where we started before it got choppy, because it's mainly the Marsh tuning. When did that start?
The Marsh tuning thing started in 2000, probably right around 2006, 2007, 2008, somewhere in that era. It was just something that just happened. You know, I would tune a bunch of local cars, tune my own, and a buddy showed up to the shop one day and had a Marsh tuning sticker across the hood of his car. And
someone else made you your first sticker?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the same thing that happened to me. The Canadian dudes, they made a sticker with my logo, and I was like, "Holy smokes!"
Yeah.
That's nice. So it started with that, and then did you already have your dyno and everything like that?
Yeah. At the time, we did have the dyno. We had a Dyno Dynamics 2-wheel drive unit.
Gotcha.
Did all of the practicing on that, and just spent more time on the dyno than at the track.
Yeah.
That's probably why there was such a big delay between the racing, on the street versus racing on the track. We were on that damn thing every day.
How do you feel about the dyno now with your own personal car? I know that sometimes there's some hiccups that come up, and a lot of racers they spend so much time on the dyno trying to make it perfect, and then they get to the track and all bets are off.
All bets are off. The night before that 922, I know people probably don't know, that thing flew right off the dyno.
Yeah.
Fucked it up pretty good. We almost didn't make it to the track.
I had some people ask what was with the stickers on your fender, and some like, what happened to the fender? And I was like, gotta ask Jamie. I don't know if he wants to share all that.
Yeah, that thing got beat up pretty good. But so right now I don't even know what the hell the car makes for power. We just we put it on there. That was the first time tuning that particular setup on the Sauce. Unfortunately, it worked its way off the dyno, but
I think that's in my opinion, Jamie, that's the coolest part of setting the record, is that you barely made it to the event. The car was damaged physically. Like you told me, some suspension components had to be swapped out even. So, and the alignment, you could see it. Jamie's first pass, he was all over.
Yeah, that car is, with a good alignment, it's a lot to handle. But with the alignment jacked up, it's scary.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine when it's back to dialed in alignment, right, what it's going to do. Do you have any predictions for what it will do at World Cup? Obviously, guys, just so everyone's aware, World Cup has the M1 fuel rule. There is no sauce outlaw style racing there. It is different than Honda Day.
Not in competition, but Norris did throw some stuff out about practice. So
practice.
You'll see some side-by-side stuff in practice.
Yep. I was warned to be there for testing.
You got to be there for testing, if we even make it to eliminations. But
I love Jamie said it, not me. The all motor class starts on Wednesday.
Yeah. So it'll be
backup motors. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun because those conditions are going to be hard to replicate.
Yeah, which is something similar to what we did last year in Honda Day. In the testing, I made sure that we went up to tech and told them that we really don't get these conditions every day, and is it okay if I throw a little in the tank? And they were like, yeah, over the scale, we have no problem.
Yeah, send it. Yeah, as long as you're good by eliminations and pass their fuel test. At that point, there wasn't fuel tests, really, was there?
No,
it wasn't M1.
It was M5, but they were doing kind of a weighted test or a certain percentage of nitro. But there was just such a tight tolerance that there were some people that that kind of measured outside of their spectrum, which I believe was a new rule, and everyone was kind of new to it. It's not an easy job for the OGS guys to hold up those rules.
You're pretty knowledgeable with this fuel stuff, aren't you? You would at least give yourself that credit, right? Because I think the community calls you, what is it, scientist, lab rat, all these,
Yeah, I just have access to a lot of stuff to make it a little easier to test and mix in.
So that was, Jamie has the same list of questions as I do here. And the next question that I'm kind of up to is any info you're willing to share on J5 or fuel mixing or
yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
This type of, I mean, I don't even know myself what the people want to know. So if you have a question on it specifically, throw that in the comments right now for the next 5 minutes. We'll try to field those questions.
Yeah, if someone has a specific, we'll answer a specific, and then maybe we can get into some of the
Let me open up the comments because I've had them basically closed this whole time.
I can't even see. There's so many damn comments. I can't even
They are flying through here. I can't believe we've stayed at 700 plus people in here almost this whole time. Definitely one of the biggest followings we've had. How much nitro percentage is in J5?
J5 is between 22 and maybe 24%, depending on the temperature. So one of the things with this methanol that we use and nitro mixes, the concentration varies based on temperature. Density changes based on temperature. Ideal temperatures for measuring 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but obviously, you can't maintain those conditions always. So as long as you can maintain that temperature during mixing, you're okay.
Gotcha.
We really don't have any type of compensation in our.
Is there anything that you use to keep the fuel in the fuel cell at a certain temperature?
No, you can. I know some guys in the past probably have used fuel coolers and chillers and things like that. But I currently don't do it. I mix the thing at 60 degrees and kind of let it fly, understanding that it may change slightly from condition to condition, but it's fast enough to compensate for it and gets the job done.
And tuning wise, this is a whole different setup than a M1 or traditional rules event setup, right?
Yeah.
You gotta open everything up.
Yeah, it's I don't know how in depth you want to get with it, but
no. That tuning is something I believe people must pay for, and every tuner is different of the knowledge they're willing to even share with the customer between locking ECUs and not.
I'm the type. People always laugh and they always say, you're too open and you give out too much info, and I'm of the belief where I can hand them the fuel, I can give them the map, I can give them wherever. It doesn't mean that they're gonna actually do something with it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more than pouring the fuel in and clicking buttons to go fast.
So I see a lot of people asking this. Is J5 an all motor class specific like setup only? Can you use it on B series? Can you use it on obviously K series? But
you can use it on anything. So it's actually pretty funny. The night of the 922 run, going up against Wendell, I was joking around. I ran out of fuel, and I was running around looking for nitro to mix some more fuel. And we poke through the trailer, and I find a can that says "Nice Guy." I actually found Chris's can of fuel from Honda Day.
Yep.
So we kind of just shook the thing, and he said, hopefully this shit's still good, and we just threw it in there and sent it.
So that could have been a special batch. You don't even know what you really ran.
No. It was definitely it was J5 because it's what Chris runs on his stock block K. But
just to put this into layman's terms for some people, when you're at the end of the night and there's like a couple of bottles of liquor left and you want one more drink and you just pour them all together, that's what Jamie did in the finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So have you tuned many cars on J5 at this point?
Yeah, bunch of cars.
Customers.
Bunch of customers, a few customers, a couple close friends.
It's not publicly available. It's more a sold
cars that I tune. Guys want it. I try to encourage guys not to use it. Not the go-to for going fast. There's plenty of other ways to go fast. I try to encourage guys to take the time and really dial their car in before resorting to fuel.
So simply J5 is a custom Jamie Marsh blended, nitro blended fuel mixture.
Yeah, there's some other little things in it that, help it, burn and do what it's supposed to do. Yeah. But it's something that's pretty easy to do.
Would you ever consider making this a fuel No way.
I saw the whole FTW thing and
that's right.
That went on. No thanks.
Yep. I like your style, man. You're doing it because you want to do it, not because it's just profits or you see an opening of some sort.
No, yeah. I just literally do it because we want to do it.
Is there J1, 2, 3, 4? Is there J6, 7 to 9?
There's a J2, there's a J5, there's a J6, and a J7. We did some testing on J6. We did some testing on J7, but we're not completely there yet. There's some things that we have to change within the setup to get the most out of it.
So Rosario Racing, he's up by you. He has a great question. What kind of maintenance does running sauce fuel come with versus, like, besides maintenance, I'll add this part in. What other gadgets would you need? Teflon lines or stronger, bigger injectors, more injectors?
I would recommend a stainless steel injector. Teflon lines are always a plus. It's not really needed if you stay on top of the flushing and the maintenance. Oil changes, normal bearing maintenance. It's pretty rough and pretty hard on the bearings. So it's just normal, a little bit more than average maintenance than you would on something like M5.
And that's mainly because it burns hotter versus other fuels.
Cylinder pressures. I mean, there's a lot to it. The breakdown of the oil, the oil contamination. You drain your oil after one pass with the stuff, and you can kind of smell it pretty clear in the oil. So it breaks the oil down pretty quick. There's ways around it. There's different oils you can use to help, but
for people that want to learn more, I think that they need to hit up a chemist class, and they, at a certain point, there's only so much you can simplify.
Like I said, I've seen that there's these big debates on, nitro as a power adder and, that's a motor. And, it goes both ways. You think about forced induction. Forced induction is, you physically forcing some type of air, some type of substance into the engine because, you make power with oxygen.
Yeah.
So the more you can pump into a cylinder, it's a big air pump. The more air you can get in there, the more power you can make.
You agree there's a major difference between using a gas nitrous oxide versus nitrous fuel mixture?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's not even close to the same. I saw this one guy going on these rants on, that nitromethane is equivalent to nitrous and all this other shit, and they're not even the same compound. You have a non-flammable gas that you're pumping into an engine at, 900 psi versus a highly flammable gas. So yes, they may do the same. The outcomes may be similar, but they're not the same.
So you would get way more power out of nitrous oxide, the gas.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sure. And I know we've talked about this personally, but your opinion on these two different top 10 lists, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, don't call Jamie's record all motor. It's like, well, then what, they want to call it the outlaw top 10 list, the sauce top 10 list, not the sauce spot, but sauce as in the fuel.
My question is why the justification now?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Why the justification now? These lists have been around forever. Guys have been running nitro blends forever, and they were always considered all motor. Why all of a sudden the justification as to how or what was done to achieve that time?
Yeah, because me and Jamie, I've called Jamie so many times to say, hey man, you're fast. I'm not trying to discredit you, but you're not the fastest in the world. And he goes, I know I'm not.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, make that top 10 list. And I have my own top 10 list I've put a lot of work into, and it's honestly, it keeps changing. That's the only reason why I haven't posted it, because I constantly have had to update it the last 3 weeks with the last 3 events. Mm-hmm. But Jamie is at the top now, and that's what I always said to him. I said, once you get to the top, you're going to be at the top of that list. There's no way to discredit what you're about to do, as long as you do. And all of a sudden, they found a way to discredit it, Jamie.
It's all right. I mean, I always tell people, the guys that discredit, and it's funny because you have guys that are in the class kind of, defending, what we're doing. They know the racers understand the difference between the two. Guys aren't, we're not out there claiming to put up these numbers on M1 or, whatever other.
The other list to me is now the M1 top 10 list.
Correct. Yeah. Prior to that, you could classify any type of M5 type of rule base as the same as the outlaw list, because you have a similar nitro compound in M5. So
and we talked after H Day that H Day could technically redo their whole list based off this one last event, because now they have a totally different rule structure than they did earlier this year or any previous years.
I think they should. I think they should, you know, anytime a rule is implemented, regardless of what it is, you know, them going from, you know, Q16 to M5, or from M5 to them testing the M5, they should reset the list. Go from M5 to M1, they should reset the list.
That's a major change. It's not like the weight changed 50 pounds. I could understand keeping the list as is.
No.
But
you got to reset the list to, you know, to truly reflect the rule change, because, you know, there's I can't say there's no way to reset that. There's definitely going to be, you know, technology's going to move forward. Guys are going to find ways to do it, but it's just, you know, it's not fair to the guys now that are conforming to the rules.
I'm usually in the loop with OGS with helping them create those top 10 lists, but I don't want to say I told them no, because I haven't spoken to them, but I kind of want to stay out of that one for this top 10 list. That last top 10 list that was created, I pleaded for them to put you on. They didn't put you on. They put the list out, and everyone was up in arms. And I said to them, hey man, I tried to lead you in the right direction with this. And I think that OGS does an exceptional job with everything that they do. I'm wondering where that top 10 list is, because even myself, I'm curious as to what's going to happen. I don't want to put any input into it, because I don't want anyone to ever say that I made this happen. No, I want nothing to do with it. That is OGS's thing. What I've created is my own top 10 list, which is non-OGS. If a times ran at OGS under M1 that meets my top 10 list, it'll be on there still, but the likelihood is going to be far less. There is a front-wheel drive, a sport front-wheel drive, X front-wheel drive pass on that list that happened at H Day. So
Gotcha.
to me, it's pretty cool how it kind of works out.
Even if they don't reset the list, why not, you know, put some type of notation or something, or some type of asterisk or something to denote when a rule change was implemented, so at least, you know, everyone keeps preaching on you know, educating people on the differences between the, you know, the nitro versus the non-nitro events. Do the same with OGS, you know. Educate everyone on the, you know, the old M5 rules versus the M1.
Yeah, and that my top 10 list has your reaction time, your 60 foot. It has your whole time slip on it. It has the date of when you did it, the event and location that you did it. Has your ECU, your tuner, because people switch tuners and then they're claiming times that they ran and they have a new tuner, and I'm like, you didn't run that time in that setup. So I've added so much specific information. I'm almost ready to add driver weight, but unfortunately there's a couple females racers and I would not feel right asking that question. So but yeah, I want to have all the details, because the more information is power, right? Knowledge is power. It makes people more informed. We need to be better. We need to create better fans and more informed fans.
We have to. A lot of crying going on from, like I said, and it's a lot of it's coming from non-racers. That's the crazy part. It's
honestly, nothing makes me madder than when it's coming from a person that doesn't even attend events. At least if it's a fan that was at the event, I was like, I saw that happen. You know, they got something to stand on, but a lot of times,
the internet, man. Power of the internet.
Yeah, everyone has a voice.
I laugh at this shit. I don't take any of it personal. I see some of the troll pages going on rants right now. You know, it's all fun and games.
You're gonna mention it. I'm about to make my own new shirt that says "Don't feed the trolls," because our community is filled with trolls lately.
It's all good. It's funny. It's
not worth it.
I used to take some of it personal in the beginning, and now it's just like, it's cool.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, I don't know how much more we can get into fuel discussion, fuel talk. We learned the history of J5.
We were waiting for someone else to ask a question. So someone asked the percentage. Is there something else that they want to know?
Yeah, there was some people were asking like the maintenance side of it and all that. They were asking, I was trying to see, but honestly, there are so many comments coming in. Very hard to keep up with that. If someone else has a question, have you made a hit on J7 yet? Jason asks.
Has that what?
Have you made a hit on J7? What
No, we did some dyno testing on 6, and it made like I want to say it was something like I think I posted the graphs. It was like 20 or 24 horsepower over J5 everywhere, up until the upper RPMs, and we figured out why, and hopefully we can implement that change and start testing that stuff before.
What is the highest horsepower you've seen out of your car so far? On it,
The
whatever.
highest I've seen on the dyno was just over 500 horsepower.
Just over 500.
Yeah.
Someone asked, can you add nitrous with the J5?
I mean, you can if you like, rolling dice and playing on the edge. Not something I'd recommend. Again, it's not. There's really no sense. Choose one or the other.
What kind of oil do you recommend while running J5? I'm just trying to fire some questions.
I use 2050 Brad Penn. You can use Nitro 70 Brad Penn, but the 2050, it gets the job done.
Yeah. What you were on J5 on the 22? I just saw someone ask. We kind of went over that. He wasn't really on J5. He was on his own. His on leftover mixture.
For the 922?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was J5. Chris runs the same thing.
Oh, okay. So it was a leftover can of J5. I got you.
Yeah.
I understood what you're saying before. What kind of horsepower are you making? Somewhere near 500, right?
Somewhere around there.
Do you need a specific compression in order to run?
No, it's actually safer on the lower compression motors. It's cylinder pressures are much lower. You can get away with greater concentration of nitro. Look at Wendell, for example. You got an 87 millimeter motor running right next to, kind of my motor full tilt.
Yeah.
That's kind of the beauty of these types of classes. It opens up the door for guys like Wendell.
Wendell does super well. I've been very impressed with Wendell this season. I need to have him on at some point because he's crazy. I can't believe some of the times he's put down this season with such a simple set, very affordable, simple setup.
Yeah.
Why not? What about turbo cars? How would J5 perform on turbo class cars?
No, not at all. Not even.
Not worth it.
No, M1, M5 is kind of the limit for me anyway with turbo cars.
So how do you feel about driving a turbo car? I don't know if I'm supposed to expose. Have you exposed your own turbo car yet, Jamie?
Yeah. People, we posted about it. People know about it.
People know. Yeah.
Been putting all of the effort into the all motor stuff, but
And you're gonna drive it. You're gonna drive it.
Yeah. Sonic's been trying to be a bad influence and get me to drive his white car, but not falling for that trap. And I'll take my time and finish that white car.
Are you going all out 25.5?
Yeah, all out. I was thinking about making it like an outlaw style car and just sending it, but I think I want to compete in sport front wheel drive.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea of the outlaw car for someone to go up against a speed factory style car. That's what Jamie's referring to. And then the other side of it is competition is so good in sport front wheel drive. There's over 15 cars at every event, and there's so many events. You don't have that many all motor events.
No. Again, you have two. Well, this year we've only had 2 OGS events because of the whole E-Town thing. That's what
This wasn't on the list, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What do you think about the top 10 list, including test passes? Because I had you on the top 10 list with your 939 that you put down at Atco testing. We all know you were testing, but I counted it because the time slip looked legit comparatively to everyone else's. It didn't look like there was just like a nitrous burst up top or something, or mile per hour through the roof.
It's to me it's all the same. On that particular list, it's all the same. A lot of these guys go to these IFO style events to test. It's not really to I guess everyone wants to win, but it's an event that you can kind of go to. The prep is going to be there, and you can kind of just let it hang. So
do you think someone could get away with running nitrous oxide at an IFO?
Yeah, I'm sure they can. They can, 100%. But I mean, you would see it right away. And I don't. Yeah, you would see it.
Yeah.
If you look at everyone's mile an hour, you look at everyone's ET. Everyone is pretty close.
Yeah.
That.
Well, your 922 has a cup. It's very close, but some of those digits are impressive with the 4.9, I believe it was, instead of a 5.
It was a 5.9. Car went, I think,
5.9.
330 and 5.9 in the eighth. So I mean, the car short tracks. If you compare flips to some of the other big power cars, that car is all short track. The car isn't making anything big in power. I think Norris put up a 152 or something like that in DSS.
Yeah.
But that green car is just a short track freak. I mean, that car, I think on the 958 pass it put up at H Day, it went 139.60 to a 3.9330. Which I think is the only of the day. So.
All I know is that when I entered your time and my version of the top 10 list, which no one has seen, only I've seen it really. Jamie saw it, I think I showed him on my phone, but when I entered his times across the top, my buddy helping me was like, "Are you sure this is right?" I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely right." He's like, he just jumped over a couple marks. Well, Jamie, we only have 40 seconds left. Have we really been on here an hour? I've been reading the comments. I didn't see. Would you be down to go a little bit longer and finish
Oh,
up?
Yeah, we can do it again.
We're going to finish off these 30 seconds. We'll let this wrap up, and then I'll start a new live. So there's 700 people still in here. We're still the top live. That is so cool. That's really cool. Yeah, we're going to finish the rest of these questions. We're only about halfway down this list, and we definitely seem to have more questions from the fans. So this is going to end in about 10 seconds, and then I hope to see at least 600 of you back in here. The trolls, you could go away.
No, keep them in here. Keep them in here.
Keep them coming. All right, we'll be back in 2 seconds. Damn. Hour 2 did not save. Pissed. That was such a good interview. Hour 1 was really good. Unfortunately, we had some Wi-Fi issues to start. I'm just wondering, maybe someone on here screen recorded the whole live shit and has the second half, because otherwise I fucked up and it's gone. And I feel like I need to apologize because I should not be having that type of error, but we're having issues, so I did it on my old phone. Me and Jamie tested the connection. My old phone worked better than my new phone, actually, and old phone failed me. It didn't save the second live. I've looked up like 800 different ways to try to save it. Possibly an Android phone could save the second, save a deleted live feed. I checked my archives, like you can check through your settings. I guess there's a way to check archive, like save stuff, but you can see like archives up here. I don't know, can't really see it because of the glare. See, it says archives, and you can see what you've posted on story mode, and you can go back and save old stories. But there's nothing that saves the live stream. So I know at the end of hour 1, it's gonna say, tune in for hour 2, but I screwed up, and there's no hour 2. At least not saved. There was over 700 people watching the live stream as it went down. We were top live for both hour 1 and hour 2, which I thought was super cool. Yeah, pretty cool stuff though. I had a great time interviewing Jamie. I had a phone call with him after the interview, and he said he had a great time doing it, and he said it goes by super quick, and it does. Even the 4-piston guy said that to me. Ramey said it to me at Maps. It goes by really quick because it's a good conversation, I think, and you guys dropping millions of comments, making us laugh and giggle. We all do it. We try not to read the comments. I tell the guests, don't read the comments. They're just going to distract you. And you'll catch us smirking. You'll catch us, laughing, because we definitely catch some of your comments, because it's just hard not to. What's up, Vinny, Tremaine? I see you guys in here. Vinny, we can't go live with another racer again tonight. We've already done it, and the only way you get on this live stream interview stuff with me is if you win the event. Vinny is on his way over to the West Coast right now. That is the next event coming up for myself, for many racers. Drag Race Nationals on the West Coast is coming up, and looking forward to that at Fontana Raceway. But this main purpose was to come on here. Maybe someone screen recorded it. That would be really cool if someone screen recorded the interview by chance. Yeah, I don't want to go live with you either, Vinny. What's up, Rosario Racing? I'm pretty disappointed that I screwed up and didn't have a way to save The live feed, I'm going to post hour one, I can record hour one because that hour one is saved. So that will end up on the YouTube page tomorrow. But hour two, either you caught it or you didn't catch it. That's it. Hour two was some juicy stuff. There was some good stuff we discussed. I can kind of go back over it super quickly. We went over some of the regular life stuff that he does. He said there isn't much. It's 95% racing or working. Any past or present racers he looked up to, he said Mark P. I remember him saying Mark P. And then on our phone call after it, he told me he meant to mention Lon as well, Lon Preunto, someone he very much looks up to as well. That was one of the questions. Favorite people that he likes to line up next to. He had a handful of them, in different scenarios. His best moment of the track, worst moment of the track. I remember his answer. It was all the same day testing when he set his record of 9:39. He said that the pass before that he won 2-1, and then the pass after that he came out and won a 39. And it was the worst moment right to the best moment. So I'm glad I can remember. That's why I'm doing this right now and not tomorrow or something, just so we have something to add to the YouTube video when we post this on YouTube. Just want to recap real quick what went down in hour two. We can't get back all your troll comments. All those thousands of comments that you guys troll up and questions, some of the questions that you guys asked. There was a lot more personal questions about his personal future stuff. He's building a turbo car. We discussed that. I'm just going down my typed list of questions because for every guest I have on, I type up a giant list of questions from past. This is from Matt Monday's interview, from Mon Preunto's interview. When I first started, I was just writing it down like this. This is some of the questions from the Maps interview, but now I've moved up to a more professional typed out structure. Way better, right? We're learning as we go. And this was a lesson learned. I'm learning as I go that I can't rely on the save feature that Instagram offers, because even though that's how I used to do it. I just hit the save button and it would save to my phone, right? This time it didn't work for hour two, so unfortunately we lost hour two. I've tried everything to try to get it back. Trust me. I asked Jamie, any chance you were screen recorded this? He's like, nah. I was like, shit, we lost it. So unless some one of you fans has it, it's gone. You had to catch it live. And you know what? Maybe I should make that the only way it goes down, is you have to catch it live. Maybe I shouldn't be adding these to YouTube to, come up again later. Have to get your opinions on that, guys. But yeah, Baby D, there are troll experts out there. There was a lot of trolls, they comment a lot. Some, because we were a top live stream, we didn't see, we get people that are legit have no idea who we are. So you gotta catch it live, right, Rosario Racing? Some people like that idea. You gotta catch it live. It's not saved. Save it for 24 hours, but I'm just pissed that I didn't even get that option. It didn't. The freaking app just closed out. Gave me no option to save it to my phone. Gave me no option to save it to for 24 hours. And hour one is. So I'm just disappointed that at the end of it, we're like, catch hour two, and then there's no hour two. But thank you guys for tuning in to the initial live streams. And to the couple people that are in here right now probably questioning why the Sauce Spot's live after being live for 2 hours. Just apologizing. Screwed up. Learned my lesson. I'm going to have to start to screen record it as I do them rather than rely on the button, right? So, lesson learned. Thank you for everyone tuning in. What's up, guys? Izzy Still Designed. Very welcome, man. I enjoy doing these live streams. It's super cool to get more personal with some of these racers. Behind the scenes, I got to approach them and ask them if they'll do it. And then after that, I got to explain some of the structure that I like to keep. And I give them the list of questions so that they can kind of have a feel of what they're going to be discussing. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot more than just making a random post that we're going live or something, or just starting our live feed and surprising you guys. So getting better with it. Getting better with it. We're learning, as you can tell, everything's authentic here at the Sauce Spot. Shit, I'll fix your car before I learn how to do this sometimes. But yeah, Jamie Marsh had a lot of information. Go watch that. Go watch that first part. Mr. Automotive, thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Izzo, thank you, man. Track Ready, appreciate you tuning in, buddy. I thought it went great, too. That's why I'm so upset that I lost it, honestly, because I was like, this was, like, really, really good, you know? And I freaking lost it. So, kicking myself, hardcore kicking myself right now. If anybody sees this and has screen recorded it, send me a message. If you got the full hour, I will compensate you if I have to. I would love to get that so we can add it to the YouTube. Watch it in your car, yeah. Some people probably didn't stay up for hour 2. That's why I really wish hour 2 saved. But we got a lot of the heavy hitter questions out right in the beginning, the first hour. So that's it. I'll go live tomorrow probably to talk about future event coming up, Drag Racing Nationals. I'm not going to keep this one going too long and talk about all sorts of odds and ends topics. Yeah, Flacco couldn't save hour 2. Whatever it is. Hour 1 saved. Great. Looks good. Unfortunately, in hour 1, we had a glitch at one point. I think he was getting a lot of phone calls, and it screwed up his connection. But it did clear up, and then hour 2 was perfect. But, yeah, you got to tune in. You got to tune in when they go down live. Even if you got to stay up late, I promise we'll make it worth it, because they're good. You're not going to get that information again. You're not going to find it elsewhere now, obviously. So, over 2 hours of conversation from the world record holder. And I screw up and lose hour 2. Stinks. So, all right. I got to go. I got to finish up the videos from the last 2 weekends event. I got to start getting ready for this California trip because I'm getting on a plane very soon to go to California. I can't wait. This season has been nuts. I think I've covered 20 events. I can't even keep count. Yes, I'm staying in the same hotel. Yeah, man. I'm excited for this. I will see you guys soon, man. W Racing, thank you. Bless you, man. Yeah. All right. I got nothing else to say. I'm just going to keep repeating myself that I screwed up and lost hour 2. Thank you guys for tuning into the first live interview with Jamie Marsh. Many more to come. He promises me that he goes, we lost hour 2. And he goes, oh, shit. He goes, whatever. We're going to do it again. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do it again. He goes, I had a good time. So I'm glad that every guest that I've had on has told me that they've enjoyed it and had a good time. And no one has found it to be just intrusive and uncomfortable. So, yeah. All right, guys. Next time I see you, I'll probably be live talking about this. Thank you to all the people that had ordered shirts this week. It's really only like 10 of you guys. But, yeah, I'm getting some shirts ready for the West Coast Drag Race Nationals event that we got coming up. So I should have some stuff with me. And, yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Stay saucy. Go to staysaucy.com if you want to pick up one of those shirts or this shirt or the same shirt. Me and Jamie with the same shirt tonight. I thought that was cool. See you guys soon.